The defense attorney for the man who's been accused of shooting through the lobby of the ABC News affiliate here in town says that his client's politics should not be held against him. KCRA 3's Michelle Bandor spoke with Mark Reichel today. He's representing Anibal Hernandez Santana. Reichel says it is important to talk about his client's background as a Puerto Rican attorney, U.S. Berkeley graduate, and Army vet. And Reichel goes on to say that Hernandez Santana has spent his life advocating for progressive causes, and he says shouldn't be punished for his political views.
So they're using this case where there's this shooting and front and center talking about his politics. And I hope that we can say that if he's the one who does this crime, you know, that's wrong. But his politics, it's not a crime.
Hernandez Santana is being held on no bail. Reichel had petitioned the court for his client to be held on house arrest.
Today, we sat down for a one-on-one interview with the attorney for the man accused of firing 3 shots into the local ABC10 building in Sacramento. Mark Reichel is a veteran defense attorney. He spoke about Anibal Hernandez Santana's visit to Sutterville Elementary School 3 days before the news station's shooting. Prosecutors say one employee there at the school described him as acting weird and anxious. Reichel tells us that his client was familiar with the school and staff, saying that he did work there 4 years ago teaching after-school Spanish classes.
Well, he went there with his Army hat on, and he did make inquiry there about reading to students. Now, it's not correct that he insisted he do that day. That defies common sense because he knows the process. Also, those were temporary employees, certainly not the employees he knew from years back and was very friendly with. So he did look around looking for a friendly face somewhere to talk about, hey, I'd like to come back and do some reading. It's kind of fun. He's retired. It's something beneficial to everyone. And so he then left his name and phone number. And then he took the packet that he knows he has to fill out with him. That's not the type of behavior that's suspicious.
Now, Reichel also shared concerns around securing a fair trial down the line, saying that Sacramento County has been exposed to prejudiced information. And this week, we brought you, you'll remember, an exclusive jailhouse interview with the ABC10 shooting suspect. CBS 13's Steve Large spoke with Anibal Hernandez Santana from behind bars.
Yeah, he would not discuss his guilt or innocence, but he says he's not a violent person. So to hear Steve's exclusive jailhouse interview with the ABC10 shooting suspect, just go to our website, cbs13.com.
Why are people intrigued by this? This looks like, smells like smoke of the beginning of a great trial in America about whether democracy survives.
Fox 40 sitting down with defense attorney Mark Reichel. On Thursday, a federal judge denied his client, 64-year-old Anibal Hernandez Santana, bail. He's the alleged shooter in a case that's transcended local headlines. 3 shots of gunfire into Sacramento's ABC-affiliated news station last Friday.
We deny all the charges right now.
You may remember the man was taken into federal custody after investigators reportedly found a slew of evidence connecting him to the crime. But under law, prosecutors are not required to provide the defense with this evidence just yet.
I have no reports of anything yet. I have nothing to comment on about the evidence or any possible defenses at all.
According to court documents obtained by Fox 40, a core piece of the prosecution's case so far appears to rest on a note reportedly found in the defendant's car. This case falling in both the federal and state courts. Sacramento District Attorney Tian Ho previously telling Fox 40 the note threatened a handful of high-profile federal officials, saying they were, quote, next.
That handwritten note was signed with the initials CK from above. We believe the initial CK was in reference to Charlie Kirk.
I've heard about this note. They talk about this note. I see it on the media, but I don't know what it means, and I don't know if my client wrote it. So there's not much I can say about it right now.
Another critical piece of the prosecution's case seems to hinge on a whiteboard planner found on the defendant's refrigerator. It read, "Do the next scary thing," under the Friday section. Reichel clarifies, according to his client, this was not a threat.
It's a mantra to get you out of your comfort zone, to get you to conquer your own fears. You know, that was on his refrigerator. And of course, they use that to say that's what happened on Friday.
A reminder, Hernandez Santana was initially arrested on state charges, released on bail, then re-arrested last Saturday on federal charges too. Again, no one was injured, but the building was occupied at the time. The defense attorney says it's rare for a case of this nature to reach the federal level. The defense says political undertones on the national scale are rippling through this particular case.
It's obvious. If you look at his social media, he's very progressive. MAGA, Trump need examples. Well, here you have violence, and you have someone who has political left leanings. So this is the perfect candidate for them to grab it, run, bring it to federal court, and point up and say, look, another statistic, folks.
Los detalles del hombre acusado de disparar contra el edificio del canal de televisión ABC10. Hoy sabemos que está bajo supervisión médica, que fue capitán del ejército y defensor legislativo. Lupita Baltasar platicó con el abogado de Anibal Hernandez Santana.
Anibal Hernandez Santana está acusado de disparar contra el edificio de la televisora ABC10 en Sacramento el pasado 19 de septiembre. Según documentos federales, el ataque ocurrió 3 días después de que visitara una escuela primaria de la zona con un comportamiento que preocupó al personal. Este viernes, su abogado de Hernández Santana lo describe como una persona alegre y asegura que se encuentra tranquilo y bajo tratamiento.
Minor medication he's on under a doctor's orders, under doctor's supervision, and then he has a personal therapist, and he self-enrolled in AA. He didn't really have much of a drinking problem, but he's so astute about taking care of himself, and self-care as we now call it.
Una nota encontrada en su refrigerador de Hernández que decía "Do the next scary thing" y que la fiscalía presentó como evidencia de intención violenta, según Reichel, esa frase era simplemente una motivación personal dentro de su proceso de recuperación.
He's not dangerous, and to the extent you think he is, we offered very clearly for house arrest on an ankle monitor with someone living with him. That's the same as jail. He's just not the I Street jail. It's the same thing as jail. So I don't see how, that doesn't ameliorate our concerns about him being dangerous.
En los documentos, la defensa también destaca la trayectoria de Hernández Santana, creado en Puerto Rico en una familia sólida, capitán del ejército por 7 años con una maestría en la Universidad de California, Berkeley y un título en leyes en UC Hastings. Ejerció como defensor legislativo por más de 30 años y no tiene antecedentes criminales. Reichel agregó que ha estado en contacto con sus hermanos, esposa e hijos de Hernández y por respeto a la privacidad de la familia no dará más detalles de ellos. La próxima audiencia federal donde se presentará Hernández Santana será el próximo 6 de octubre, mientras que la audiencia estatal está programada para el 16 de octubre. En Sacramento, Lupita Baltasar, Telemundo.
What do you or your client have to say to ABC10 employees who are traumatized by having their workplace shot up? That's the final question I asked defense attorney Mark Reichel today in our one-on-one interview. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I can't comment on who the person is that committed this to ABC10, but obviously, and I know my client as well are the strong believers in the First Amendment and the fact that a free and unfettered press is the bedrock foundation of all that keeps America healthy and civilized.
Anything you want to say to the people who are experiencing emotional trauma?
Well, I mean, obviously, I wish that this would never have happened and they never had to go through something like this.
Mark Reichel is the defense attorney for 64-year-old Anibal Hernandez Santana. He's the man county and federal prosecutors accuse of firing shots into the ABC10 building. Nobody was physically harmed. What was his state of mind, leading up to the day of the shooting?
I wasn't there, so I don't know. And the law is that they don't have to give me the discovery, which is the reports, the criminal evidence, until about 10 days after arraignment. So in federal court and in state court, he hasn't technically even been arraigned yet. We just dealt with bail. So on this notepad, I have as much discovery as they've given me. So I don't know what was going on the day of the shooting, and I obviously don't know if he's the shooter.
Charges from the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office include assault with a deadly weapon, shooting into an occupied building, and negligent discharge of a firearm. Federal prosecutors are charging him with interfering with a federally licensed station and possession and discharge of a firearm within a school zone.
Everybody in America is innocent. He's 100% innocent until 12 people inside of that courtroom, after hearing all the evidence at a fair trial, say beyond a reasonable doubt that he's guilty.
At a bail hearing Thursday in federal court, Reichel told the judge his client has been in Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, since 2022 and has a sponsor, and that he has a therapist and takes medication. Do you know whether he was taking his medication at the time?
So I believe he was.
Can you share his diagnosis?
No, but I can guarantee you everybody can, it's the real common one that you hear, common ones that you hear that are of the lowest level, I think, for mental health treatment with medication.
So not schizophrenia?
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely not schizophrenia.
Okay. Okay.
It's in the area of anxiety and depression
Sure.
and sleeplessness.
Ultimately, the federal judge denied bail for Hernandez Santana after prosecutors presented evidence of possible continued risk to the community, including access to firearms and what they say is concerning recent behavior, meaning he'll stay behind bars for now. Reichel says he'll be asking the federal court to reopen his client's bail hearing sometime next month. As for the state charges, that case is set for arraignment on October 16th. The Sacramento County DA's request for no bail will be heard that day as well.
All right, Becca, now we know earlier this week, CBS 13, they did get an interview with him, but he's denied multiple requests from ABC10. What did his attorney have to say about that?
Yeah, well, Mark Reichel says that TV interview came as a surprise to him, that jailhouse interview with CBS 13, that he always advises his clients who are pre-trial to not speak with the media while they're in custody, but it's ultimately up to the defendant.
But now that he has spoken with CBS 13, do you think that, well, I guess, did Mark say if he'd be willing to speak with us or not?
Yeah, I certainly asked, and Mark told me, quote, maybe next week, honestly, so we will be following up on that. And, you can watch my entire interview with Mark Reichel on the ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app, and of course, that app is free to download.